Hi guys, welcome back. Today we're going to be doing a lower body focused workout on our reformer using a ball and some hand weights. Now if you don't have hand weights, don't worry, they are not 100% necessary. And if you don't have a ball, if you could just find something you can place between your inner thighs, like a cushion or a teddy bear, then that will be totally fine. And then we can just swap some of the other exercises out. So I'm going to start today coming on to one red spring. On my reformer, the red spring is a medium spring or a level 1 spring, like a full strength spring. And then we're going to come down and lay down onto our back. I'm going to start with some breath work. So you can just take your feet wherever's comfortable, the foot bar onto your platform extender or just resting over the foot bar like I've got them. And your hands can either come down beside you or you can place one hand onto your heart space and one hand onto your belly. And we're going to start to breathe, focusing on our inhale breath. So as you draw the breath in through the nose, bring it down into the belly and expand the belly first before the chest. And let the exhale breath just be really nice and soft. Inhale deep down into the belly. And exhale softly out through the mouth or the nose, whatever feels natural for you. We start to focus a little bit more on that exhale breath here. So we take the same inhale breath in through the nose, expand the ribs wide, nice and strong. And on the exhale, can we press the breath out through our lips sharply and pull the ribs towards the hips. So inhale, expand the ribs. Exhale, draw them down. As you stay with that breath, we're going to bring our hands up to our shoulder blocks, pull our back down into an imprint and lift the legs up to a tabletop position. We're going to take the knees together and we're going to come into our pendulums here. So the knees are just going to move a few inches over to the right as you take that inhale breath. And then exhale, bring them up over the hips and over to the left. Same distance, just a few inches over on the inhale. And exhale as you bring them up over the hips. And now keep that going. We want to maintain that 90-degree angle with our legs. And we want to make sure we are keeping the control in our deep abdominal muscles. Now, if you go a little bit too far with your knees, you're going to find you're gripping onto your shoulder blocks and you're using your shoulders and your upper body to pull you back up. So I want you to lighten that grip slightly. Just provide yourself with a little bit of support. Keep your knees working in line with your hips, so not pulling them in or pressing them away. And we can add on a leg extension. We come out to the side, inhale and extend the legs. Exhale, pull the straight legs up over the hips and bend them back in through tabletop. So we inhale, draw over and extend. And exhale as we pull them up over the hips and bend back through tabletop. Let's do that a couple more times. Really feeling the low belly working here, making sure you're nice and soft through those fingertips. Maybe take a little bit of a check as you come out to the side that your fingertips are soft. And we'll do one more here. And rest the feet down onto the foot bar. All right, let's reach down and grab onto our ball, or of course, if you're using something else, you can grab your teddy or your pillow. We're going to place the ball in between our inner thighs and we're going to come back to our pendulum just for a couple here. So gentle bit of pressure into that ball to find that connection between the inner thighs. Lift the legs up as you pull your back down, your belly in. Hands are still softly up against your shoulder blocks. And we're going to inhale, draw over to the right. And exhale, pull back over the hips. Keep that tension. Try not to release it as you come over. This is going to power into those deep abdominal muscles just a little bit more. And start to warm up through the belly, through the inner thighs. And we can add on again on our next one. So we draw over to the side, inhale, extend the legs, exhale, pull them up over the hips and bend back through tabletop. Inhale to come over and extend the legs. Exhale, pull them up. Now, if you're not feeling this through your belly, a couple of things to test. Are your knees straight up over your hips, or are they pulling in over your belly button or drawing away? The other thing is, again, making sure fingertips are really nice and soft. Let's do one more in each direction. And then hold your tabletop here as you reach behind your shoulder blocks. Grab onto those short loops and extend them up to the ceiling. So we want the back pulling down, the belly pulling in, and we're going to start to sweep the hands down next to the hips. Inhale, we lift up, and exhale as we sweep. Keep ribs pulling down, belly pulling in. We want to make sure we keep that rib to hip connection even as the hands come up. So that's not a point for us to rest. That's where we keep that belly nice and strong. Let's add on a chest lift if it's there for you. Curling up, chest draws towards the thighs. Inhale, lower down. Finding that point directly above the shoulders for the arms. Don't travel them any further back. Reaching through the fingertips at the top. If you are adding in that curl, make sure that you're using those abdominals to lift the chest. Can we add a double leg extension? Extend the legs as you sweep the arms, then draw them back into tabletop as you lower down. Now, the higher the legs go, the less pressure you'll have on that back. So you'll need to keep the belly nice and tight to protect the back. The lower you go, the stronger it's going to be for the belly to protect the back. Whew. Let's go for 4. We're holding up in 3. Keep tension in that ball, 2. 2. And holding up on this next one, 1, just the legs. We inhale, pull in, exhale, extend. Draw the knees in a little bit more, maybe crunch into the belly. You're welcome to bring your head down if that suits you better. Otherwise, maybe curl up a little bit more. Pull the tailbone up an inch. Let's go for 3. For 2. And 1. Draw the knees in, lift the hands, rest the feet. Whew, that's getting strong. All right, pop those strap downs for a moment. Take the ball, give your knees a little rock from side to side, get some release through the belly, through the sides of the body. All right, so for this part, if you're not actually using a ball, you might just have to do this with your tailbone flat on your carriage. If you are using a ball though, we're actually going to lift the hips up. I'm going to place that ball right underneath the tailbone. Now, getting the right spot's really important. If you come too high, you're going to be in your low back, and see how that's causing an arch in my back. If you come too low, it's going to cause your pelvis to tuck under, and it's actually just going to make the exercise really light on the abdominals, okay? So you want to get in that sweet spot where you're able to anchor your tailbone and maintain a really nice neutral spine. You're going to grab onto your straps, reach them up to the ceiling, fire through the belly, and lift your legs up to a tabletop position. All right, so from here, your knees need to be right up over your hips. Now, because your hips are elevated, that is a little bit further away from you than you're used to. So usually this might be a tabletop, but notice how my knees are now over my belly. We want to press them back and fire on those deep abdominal muscles. Take a few breaths here. Just feel that instability in around the hips, the deep abdominals, the pelvis. Use those abdominals to stabilize through that pelvis. Use your breath to fire on the abs. And we'll start to sweep the hands down next to the hips and lift them back up. If you feel wobbly, you might need to adjust your ball ever so slightly. I'm going to lift mine up just an inch. Or fire on your abdominals just a little bit more to get that stability happening. Inhale up, exhale, sweep. So we're not adding a curl on here. I want you to focus mostly on keeping those knees right back up over the hips. Maintaining that 90-degree angle with your legs. If you do have a mirror, great. Keep having a little look over and just checking. Keep the belly pulling in, the ribs pulling down. Let's start to add a single leg extension. Now, when you add this single leg extension, your tabletop leg is probably going to want to draw in. I want you to avoid that. Keep it up over your hip. The lower that leg goes, the more work it's going to be through that low belly to keep the back secure. Make sure we're still in neutral here. If you feel your tailbone tucking under, it could be the ball, or maybe you're just relaxing the belly. All right, adjust yourself as you need. Okay, so if this is strong enough for you, you're staying here. Otherwise, we're going to change it up. Coming back to tabletop, legs go long, squeeze them together. As you sweep your hands, pull your knees into tabletop. As you lift your hands, extend your legs long. Now, as you pull your knees into tabletop, make sure once more we're only coming in over the hips. We don't want to draw those knees in all the way over the belly. We've got 4. For 3. 2. And hold it on the last one here. Can we just do the arms? Keep those legs long. The higher the legs, the easier it's going to feel. The lower, the stronger. Keep the shoulders pulling down. We've got 4, 3, 2. We're not done. 1 more. Hold the arms down. Lift the legs up a little bit. And hundreds with those arms for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And we bring it home. Whew. Pop the straps onto the hooks. We can take that ball out from underneath our tailbone. Rock the knees from side to side. Get that nice little twist and release. And we're going to bring ourselves up. And we're going to change our springs now. Ball's going to come down for the first little bit of this next part. I'm going to change to 1 green and 2 red for footwork. Okay, so that is my heaviest spring and my 2 medium springs. All right, so depending on what reformer you're on, I say that I'm probably on about 3.5 springs. 1, 2, 3.5 springs is about right. Beautiful. Okay, so now I'm bringing my hand weights with me. I'm gonna lay all the way down. Here, I'm popping my headrest up just for comfort. And then I'm going to take my heels onto the foot bar, hip width apart, extending my arms up towards the ceiling and turning my palms to face away from my body. I'm going to push the carriage out. Now, as I bend through the knees, the arms are coming out to my goalposts, and then I'm taking a chest press as I push up. Inhale, draw them wide. Exhale, pushing up. Beautiful. So we're catching with soft knees at the top here, and then resisting against that foot bar on the way in. I want you to maybe think about pushing upwards against the foot bar with your heels, like you're trying to press the bar up towards the ceiling. It's going to really help you to connect through those thighs. Tailbone is down, our spine is neutral. We inhale, draw in, exhale, press away. Now we're only going through a pretty short round in each of our positions here for our footwork, but I want you to keep moving the whole time. Notice I've got a nice little pace happening here. We're not going too slow. Those elbows are going to stay out in 3 as we come halfway in and hold the carriage in 2 and 1. So draw the elbows out, hold them lifted, not resting, lifted, holding that carriage halfway, a little bit of flexion through the feet, push an inch further up, and we do little baby pulses here. So little push in and out. Keep it slow and keep it small. Just above halfway on the carriage here. Breathing regularly now. Keep tailbone down, ribs down, belly's tight. And we're going to make those pulses a little higher, a little longer. Keep those elbows lifted. Keep your weights right out over your elbows like you're making goalposts with your hands. Beautiful. Can we make those pulses higher and longer? For 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Press out, push the weights up and bring it all the way in. All right, we're moving straight onto the toes. So all 10 toes on the foot bar, a little closer together than hip width apart. Arms extended back up, palms are facing in, and we push the carriage out. We're taking a narrow press. So as we bend the knees, the elbows come into the small of our waist. As we extend the legs, we squeeze the weights up over the shoulders. So we inhale to come in, exhale, press away. Heels are all the way up onto our tippy toes here. So I want you to imagine you've got a little stiletto underneath those feet. Inhale, exhale. Now, every time you tuck those elbows in, do not touch the carriage. Keep them hovering and bring those weights down over the elbows. We're making 90-degree angles with the arms. Drawing in, pressing away. Still upwards pressure on the foot bar with those toes. Don't quite come all the way into the stopper. You want to find that range on the reformer where you're just hovering up away from the stopper. Let's go for 4. 3, 2, 1 more here, halfway in, hold the elbows to a hover, hold the carriage still. So elbows are off the carriage. Those weights are right up over those elbows and we are just holding it halfway. No, an inch further up. Hold it here. Hold it, little tiny baby pulses. Keep it small. So we're just halfway up the carriage and making those pulses an inch up, an inch down. Whew. Keep your heels high. Make sure your knees are still hip width apart. And let's start to lengthen those pulses a little higher, a little longer. Keep those elbows lifted. Keep those biceps squeezing, those shoulders squeezing, tailbone down. Tailbone down, yeah. That sounded wrong. You know when you say a word and it just doesn't sound like the right one? Oh, all right, make them longer again and higher for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Stretch it out, press it up, and bring it all the way down. Whew. All right, quick rock of the knees here. A little bit of relief, a little whack in those thighs. I'm actually going to add a half a spring for my next 2 rounds here. So if it's not feeling strong enough, you add some springs. If that weight's good for you, you can stay there. We're going to go heels wide on the foot bar, toes turned out, knees gently turned out. Extend those weights up, press carriage out. We're going to soften the elbows. We're taking a flyer here. Okay, so your external rotation shouldn't be forced. It should be a natural turnout. We're going to bend the knees, open them, and take the arms out at the same time. Inhale, exhale, press away and squeeze up. We draw in, we squeeze away. Good. So we want to keep that tailbone down. You'll find that if you are forcing your turnout, then your pelvis will naturally just start to tuck under. So don't press the knees too far out. Keep the ribs pulling down and keep as much length through those arms as you can get. Flexion through the feet, squeezing through the thighs. Short rounds here. Let's go for 4, 3, 2, and 1 more, meeting halfway. Can you keep your arms in that V and hold the carriage still? Now this might be the most challenging position for our arms to hold. The lower you go, the harder it's going to be. The higher you are, the easier. So just find a position where you feel like it's nice and strong, you feel challenged, and push an inch further up. Hold it. Press the knees out a little more, tailbone down, little tiny baby pulses. See if maybe you can take those arms a little bit further out. Breathing regular here now. Allow your shoulders to drop down. Don't press up into those shoulder blocks. Make your pulses a little higher, a little longer. Good. And then top range pulses, almost all the way out, halfway in for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Big stretch out, bring the weights in and draw it all the way down. Whew. 1 more round to go. We're coming onto our toes. Staying in external rotation, staying nice and wide on that foot bar. Come right up onto your tippy toes. Draw your heels up into that stiletto heel position. Extend the weights up. We're going to do triceps here. So we press the carriage out. Keep your elbows right up over your shoulders. Now, as you bend your knees, let's take those weights towards your forehead. And as you extend your legs, stack them back up over your shoulders. Inhale, bend. Exhale, squeeze. Now try and stay right up on those tippy toes if you can. Beautiful. Squeeze into the triceps. So every time you lengthen those arms, squeeze them. Draw in with control and squeeze them up. Make sure your heels aren't dropping down. We want to keep them high. So we've really got those calves working. We're going to go for 5, for 4, 3, tailbone heavy, neutral spine, 2. You've got it, halfway hold, arms to 90-degree angles, and we hold it. Press the knees out, tailbone down, ribs down. Now we don't want to drop those weights any further. We don't want to lift them any higher. We want to hold them. Push your carriage a little bit further out. And we pulse. Little pulses here. Press those knees out. Keep those elbows back. Maintain that 90-degree angle. Keep your breathing regular. Inhale for a few. Exhale for a few. Pulses are small, just above halfway. And we make them longer now. Little bit higher. Whew. Oh, that burns. Kicking in now. All right, we've got 4 here. 3, 2, long pulses almost all the way out to halfway in for 6, 5, 4, 3 to go, just 2 and 1, and extend it, bring it all the way in. Oh my gosh, give those calves a roll out over your foot bar here. Find that midpoint on the calf and then just rock the knees from side to side. Maybe moving up and down. Oh, gee whiz. Okay, we continue. We're going to pop our hand weights down. And we're going to warm up our glutes, still on our back for now. So our last exercise on our back, I'm going to take the ball and just place it back in between our inner thighs. Our heels are coming slightly closer than hip width apart so that we have immediate pressure in on that ball. Hands relaxed down beside you. Press your heels into the foot bar. Inhale, draw the back down, squeeze the bottom. Exhale, peel your spine up 1 vertebrae at a time. Ribs to hips, tailbone tucks. Inhale, squeeze more. And exhale, hold the squeeze as you roll all the way down. And then just rocking back through neutral at the bottom. So we pull the back down, squeeze the bottom, squeeze the ball. And we roll ourselves up. Inhale, hold. Exhale, rolling down. Now we've got a heavy spring on, which means that our hamstrings don't really have to work as hard as we need them to. So you need to actively fire them on. So pull your heels towards your bottom as if you are trying to pull that carriage into the stopper. Extra squeeze at the top, I've got the shakes. And then roll all the way down. Beautiful, rocking back through neutral. Inhale, pull the back down, squeeze the bum. Exhale, roll yourself up. Hold up here as we squeeze for 3, 2, 1. Hold the last squeeze and roll down. Little release through that ball as you come through neutral. Inhale, back down, squeeze the bum. Exhale, roll it up. Hold at the top as you squeeze for 3. Big squeezes, not pulses. 2, 1. Hold the squeeze, roll it down. Last one like this. We tuck the pelvis under, squeeze and roll it all the way up. Hold it here, squeeze for 5, for 4, 3, 2, hold that last squeeze, hold it, hold it, hold it, lift a little bit more, and then roll it all the way down. Little rock from side to side with those knees. We are not done. Hands holding onto the ball, palms pressing into the ball, and our heels still on the foot bar. This time we're coming through a flat back lift, so without rolling through the spine. We start in neutral, heels pressing down into that foot bar. Inhale, breath. Exhale, lift the hips straight up. Inhale, tap them down. Exhale, lift, squeeze, tuck. moving through neutral on that lower end lift and tucking at the top to really squeeze into the glutes and find that really nice long line through the torso up to those knees. So you don't want to drive up with the hips. This is not the range we're looking for. I want you to keep the knees aligned with the hips, that pubic bone pulling to the belly button, nice flat belly, the ribs pulling down. Tuck and lift. Little bit of tension in that ball. Now our hands reaching up just takes away of some of the stability in that upper body for this pelvic curl. Your carriage shouldn't be moving at all. Those springs are heavy. Our hamstrings should still be working. We hold up, open the knees, pull them in, tap down, lift, open, draw in, tap down. Let's go for 3 like this. As your knees open, fire the belly on, keep those hips steady. Last one, we hold up, we open and close for 5. Can you squeeze the knees together each time for 4? 3, 2, 1, hold them open and slowly roll down through the spine. Whew, and we rock the knees from side to side. All right, we are done on our back. We are going to come all the way up. First thing we're going to do is change back to a red spring. So taking everything off, just one red spring. Make sure those weights are out of the way. We're going to stand up and come into our lunging series. So holding onto the ball to start with. Am I in the screen? I hope so. Holding onto the ball to start with, taking our right foot up against, I'm standing over on my left side. I've got my right foot up against the shoulder block. Holding onto the ball. Tension in the ball in between our hands, and we're going to lunge down and reach the ball long and then drive up. So tension through that left heel, your standing leg. Finding one long line from the fingertips through to the heel here before driving back up. Inhale. Exhale as you lengthen. Inhale, draw down. So we keep that squeeze on the ball so our arms, our shoulders have a little bit of work. We want to keep traveling our weight back so that left glute is taking the load. And we're doing short rounds of our lunges here. So I really want you to try and find that length, that reach. We're holding down in 4, 3, 2, 1 more, hold it. Find that length, keep that right leg long. Nice big squeeze here. Now, if you need to, you can take one hand to the foot bar. Otherwise, keep that reach, lift the left heel and lower. Lift and lower. Slow it down. We've got 4, 3, 2. Lift and lower one more time. Pulse up and down through that left leg for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Holy dooly. Bring it all the way up. Whew. Quick shake out of the legs. We have another round. This time the ball is going to come down and you're going to place your left heel onto the ball, toes onto the floor. I like to tuck my ball just underneath my reformer just to keep it nice and stable, but it's not necessary, especially if your reformer is not as low as mine is. All right, this time you can either have one hand onto that foot bar for stability, or hands can come to the hips to start with. All right, I do have pressure in the ball through my left heel. Then we lunge down and drive up. Find that balance. Once you have it, add the arms. We reach, draw them in. Reach, draw them in. Good. All right, at any time if you feel wobbly, you can take your hand to the foot bar. Little old left calf muscle over here, he's really feeling it. We've got 3. Wow, here I go. 2. Add a scooter. 1 scooter. In, out, stand up, draw down, scooter it. In, out, up, down. I can't even talk, I'm concentrating far too much on what my leg is doing here. Again, arms are optional. If we're using the arms, it means you're feeling confident with your balance. Hands to the hips or one to the foot bar is fine. Let's just scooter on the next one. So we stay low, pull it in and out. Can we all sink an inch deeper for 4, 3, 2, and hold it on the last one. Hold it, hold it, hold it. Go lower, 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 lower. And bring it up. Oh, dang it. Give that bum a tap. Oh my. Keep that ball tucked under. Let's take a little stretch on our way over. Our feet are going to come up onto the carriage. Hands to the foot bar. Feet are about halfway down the carriage here. Draw the chest towards your thighs and then drive your heels back towards the wall behind you. And then we pull them under. Keep the chest low. Press the heels back. Keep the heels down. Draw them under. And press them back. Beautiful. All right, we're almost there. One more like this. And bring it in. While you're down here, grab your ball. Step over to the right side of your reformer now. Left foot up against the shoulder block, right foot forward. We're holding the ball to start with. We lunge and reach. Drive up through that right heel. Lunge, find length. And drive it up. Take it low. Lift it up. Breathing in. Breathing out. As you lunge, make sure your right knee is all the way back over your heel. We don't want it pressing over the top of your toes. We want to keep that tension through the glutes. Can we add some tension in between our hands into that ball to work those shoulders? We're going for 4, 3, only 2, and one more. Hold it, find length, sink deep. That left leg's long. All right, right heel's coming up and down. Lift and lower. Oh my. Lift and lower for 4, and 3, and 2. One heel stays down, little pulse up and down. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And bring it all the way up. Boom, quick release. Straight into those lunges with the ball under the heel. How are we going for time? Lovely. Press your heel into the ball. Take your toes onto the floor. Left foot comes back up. Option, hand to the foot bar or the hips. We lunge down, pitch forward and drive up. We want to find that chest drawing towards our thigh and keep your knee back up over that heel. My right heel is gently pressing into the ball. And down. And drive up. Almost there. And down. And drive up. That's it. We're going to go for 4 like this. You can add your arms on if it's there for you, if your balance feels okay. Then we add our scooter in 3, 2, and 1. Lunge down. We pull it in, push, and drive it up. Lunge, pull, push, and come up. Oh my goodness. Hell, holy hell. Are you feeling this? I am. I'm wishing it's over, but we're almost there. We're going to do 2 more with our scooter, and then we are just scootering. And I have a surprise for you. Last one. Stay down, scooter in and out for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and hold it. Sink lower. Hold it, hold it, hold it. Oh, bring it up. I'm sorry. All right, so let's jump back up and take that elephant stretch. Feet halfway back the carriage again, chest draws down. We rock back and pull it in. Press back, draw under, breathing deep. Releasing the back of the legs. We'll do 2 more. Last one. Hold those heels back on this one. Draw that chest down. Keep the chest low as you slowly bring those heels back underneath your hips and the carriage into the stopper. All right. Let's come down onto our knees. We've got one more bit of work to work through. It's a nice little short series. We're going to grab onto our straps facing towards the back of our reformer. I'm staying on the single red spring that I've been on. I'm going to cross the straps over, hold up near the knot, and come up into a high kneel here. Now, if your straps are really loose, take yourself back. You want to have them nice and taut. I'm holding up around my knots rather than back into my loops, and I'm going to take a high row here. So we're going to draw those elbows wide and reach forward. So keep brace through the core. We want the crown of the head reaching up towards the ceiling. Inhale forward, exhale squeeze. Beautiful. We add on in 2 and 1, reach forward. Can we hinge from the knees, lower your body back in one long line and row here. Reach forward, come up tall. Hinge back, big squeeze. Reach forward, come up tall. 2 more. Down, row, extend, come up. 1 more, stay back. We row for 6. Can you get lower? 5, do not arch into your back. Do not send your bottom low. 3, 2, and 1 more here. And release forward. Pop your straps onto your hooks. You are cooked. We're going to shuffle those knees back. Find our 4-point kneel. Tuck your right toes up over your, what do you call it? Foot bar. And step your left foot forward. From here, I want you to lift your chest up and bring your hands back towards your foot bar or to your hips if that's more comfortable for you. I'm going to drive those hips forward and stretch into the thigh. I have the shakes. My whole body is shaking. Breathe long and deep. Find that release. And we'll swap sides. Bring those hands down. Swap your feet around. Right foot forward. Left toes hooked. Come on up. Hands to the foot bar or the hips. And drive the hips. Are you shaking? Is it just me? I hope you're okay. Oh my, that's a lot, huh? All right, last 2 breaths. And we'll come back down to that 4-point kneel. Take a couple of circles out through the spine. And we are all done. Thanks so much for joining me, guys, for a nice, strong lower body workout. A little bit of shoulders in there too. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time.